She's asked me to do the prayer.
Okay.
If you will, please join me. Father, we come into your presence with praise and with worship because you and you alone are the God. You're the creator of everything that is. You're the creator of our lives, and you're the God that tells us the end from the beginning. Make us very aware, Lord, that you know the end of our lives. You know the middle of our lives, even before the beginning. Lord, we ask you to lead and direct this council, to give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Give them fortitude, to give them the will of the people. And Father, we ask you all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you for your participation in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Need approval of the August 2024 work session minutes. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to approve August 20, 2024 regular council meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right, Mr. Mayor, message.
Good evening. All members of the council, as well as all the public that are here at City Hall watching in person, and those who are watching online, thank you for participating in the process of local government, one that impacts you the most, even though it's probably talked about the least around this time of year anyway. That said, we've got a lot to cover. Want to thank the council for their work last council meeting around the budget discussion. I want to thank our finance department and all the directors for helping us with the budget. But today we want to speak about something that is very, very important, and that is Suicide Prevention Month. And we have with us today those who have been a part of this, and we've got a proclamation concerning this issue which impacts so many. This is a serious public health issue that affects people of all ages, races, and backgrounds. The City of Montgomery recognizes the profound impact suicide has on individuals, families, and the community, and is committed to raising awareness and promoting efforts to prevent this tragic loss of life. Suicide Prevention Month, observed in September, serves as an important time to educate the public about the signs of suicide, the resources available for prevention, and the importance of mental health care. Suicide Prevention Week, observed from September the 8th through September 15th, focuses on uniting the community, health professionals, educators, and advocates in a concentrated effort to raise awareness about suicide prevention and to share strategies that can save lives. Suicide Prevention Day, observed on September 10th, is dedicated to spreading awareness, providing support to those who have been affected by suicide, and fostering a sense of hope and connectedness within the community. City of Montgomery supports the efforts of local organizations, mental health professionals, educators, and volunteers who are working tirelessly to prevent suicide and support those who are at risk. It is vital that we as a community recognize the importance of mental health, reduce the stigma associated with seeking help, and ensure that individuals and families have access to the resources they need in times of crisis. Now, therefore, I, Stephen L. Reed, as Mayor of the City of Montgomery, do hereby proclaim September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Month, September the 8th through the 15th, 2024 as Suicide Prevention Week, and September 10th, 2024 as Suicide Prevention Day in the City of Montgomery. We urge all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses and schools in Montgomery to observe this month, week, and day, to commit to ourselves and working together to prevent suicide and promote mental health and wellness in our community. I want to thank Kathleen Connolly, Board Chair of the Alabama Chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, for her work and her leadership, and I'll ask her to come forward to accept this proclamation with my appreciation for all the work that she does in the memory of her daughter. You please come on up. Ms. Connolly joins us in front of the City Council.
Center.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Mayor, y'all move.
There you go. Okay, and then turn to the side. There it is. I was trying to find me a spot so I can sing.
We'll give Ms. Collins another round of applause, please, for the work that she does. In memory of her daughter. Again, we know suicide impacts a lot, so please take down the numbers for the crisis line and keep those things in mind, not just during the week or this month, but consistently. If we can do that, I think it'd be very important just sometimes just to lend an ear and make sure when we're trying to help those who are helping others, in particular with mental health and wellness, that we give them as much support as we can. Now we'll go to our mid-year update, and I'm just going to give a synopsis here, just kind of talk about a lot of the great things that have been happening in our city. We've had the chance to share this outside of the city, outside of the state. Many of the good things that so many in this community are bringing about. When we think about the ratings that we have, being the 54th best city to live in the United States, according to U.S. News and World Report. When we think about being the 7th most affordable city to live in this country, that's significant. And when we think about certainly being one of the safest cities, second in their rankings for cities our size, that is significant. And that is because of our council, that's because of community leaders, that's because of business and faith leaders, and our residents doing just a great job. Many of our civic organizations filling roles that government cannot fill and that business cannot fill has consistently helped this city accumulate all this great publicity. And I really think as we get into this college football season that we start acting like winners because we have been winning a lot lately. And it's because of everybody, not just on the council and the mayor's office or all the 2,400 plus employees of the city of Montgomery, but it's our county partners, it's our state partners, it's everyone that has been pushing this city forward in a tremendous, tremendous way. And that's being recognized. That's being recognized in the press nationally. It's being recognized in our economic development growth. It's being recognized in our housing growth. Those are things that we should take pride in. And I left out one important partner, and that's our school system, our public schools in particular, but certainly those independent schools as well. All of those things are helping Montgomery achieve these rankings. And if I didn't, tell you that it was us, you may not have guessed it was Montgomery that has achieved those rankings. But when we look at cities our size in particular in the state, there are very few that we change places with. There are a lot that will change places with us. And it's good to have that third-party validation so it doesn't just seem like it's Chamber of Commerce PR or political speak from the mayor's lectern, but it's those who are evaluating cities and evaluating what we're doing here that's right. And I want our council, I want all the leaders here, many of you who lead various organizations, to talk about those good things, because as the old phrase goes, you don't have to sell bad news. Bad news sells itself. The good news takes a lot of work, and a lot of work that you all have been doing in our residents, our neighborhood associations, who I had a chance to speak to just a few days ago, and some more coming up over the next few weeks, been doing great work. And to see those things happen, to see the recognition, I think is affirmation that we're on the right track and that we see a lot of positive things happening together due to our collective vision and dedication. We'll now talk a little bit about some economic development very quickly. Again, not going to go through some of those. We've talked about it before. The things I'm probably most proud about is the next slide that we can go to, and that's small business. That is Access Montgomery. And the things that we believe will help us grow our economy and grow our population and grow the success of those homegrown businesses right here that are coming out of the entrepreneurial minds of those that we have right in our city. And to have programs like Access Montgomery with a new small business loan fund is significant. We've had to kind of work on our partner to kind of loosen up the strings a little bit to get those loans out there. That the money isn't meant to be saved for the next 100 years. The money is meant to be gotten out there in the hands of our small businesses right away so that they can grow and they can take advantage of all the great large and macroeconomic growth that we're seeing. But also the establishment of the Montgomery Tourism Improvement District, which will generate over $2 million annually for targeted marketing and tourism with the potential to attract billions of capital investment, positioning our city as a premier international business and leisure destination. Things like this that the council has to vote on really show the progress that we're making, because this will not only bring in additional revenue, but this will also create a better space for our lodging and our hospitality sector. So these are some areas where we're seeing positive growth. Now, as it relates to public safety, again, as we look at the mid-year approach, we have seen some tremendous gains made throughout this year. When we think about new leaders being appointed, and Interim Police Chief James Grayboys, as well as Special Advisor, former Police Chief and Director of Public Safety, Lawrence Batista IV, we have been able to tweak some things that already are providing dividends. If you were here for the work session, you heard Chief Grayboys speak to some of the small things around early hiring that are helping us improve that pool of candidates, to improve that pipeline cadets to officers. When you look at some of the initiatives that both he and former Chief Batiste have brought about, these are things that are helping us leverage a better morale and a better sense of cooperation and collaboration with our police department and the community. Very significant. But also thinking about how we continue to invest in training and new technology. We were able to take part in a panel with NYPD about how they're leveraging technology even in the face of shortages within their department. In a city that size, in a department that's probably the most well-known police department in the country, if not internationally, leveraging technology and how mid-sized and small cities, along with large cities, can do the same according to scale. So you'll see some things coming up. Hopefully you won't be on the other side of that technology, but we're investing and we're pushing forward to make sure that we've got eyes and ears in places and spaces that we don't right now. But we also want to continue to invest in partnerships, collaboration with the Sheriff's Department, ATF, the FBI, ALEA is ongoing, and we're encouraged by some of the things that we're starting to see some positive trends, as the Chief has shared with me, as it relates to being down 13% in homicides, year over year, being down about 12% in non-fatal shootings year over year. However, we aren't satisfied with what we're seeing in terms of property crime. My church was a victim of that. We've heard about other churches and other nonprofits being victims of property crime. We want those businesses, those churches, those organizations to make us aware of things that are happening so we can continue to see if there's some patterns that are taking place when it comes to property crime. Burglaries and thefts also are not in a trajectory that we would like, up, think about 9-10% in those areas. So those are areas that we've got to continue to work on. We've got to continue to work with our neighborhood associations and those who are helping us watch the backs of their neighbors, whether that be somebody's residence or whether that be someone's business or their organization. All of those are things that help us try to stem what we're seeing there on the property side and what we're seeing there around burglary and theft. That said, we are seeing some positive trends there, but again, we want to continue to make sure we ride that out through the end of this year and continue to tweak and adjust not only our manpower, but our resources as well. Now, I'm almost done, get to community violence intervention initiatives. We put that in the budget. We had a solid meeting with the governor's office last week about participating in this. We've talked to the county as well about their support. And while I don't think we will have the $6 million that we would like to have, I think we'll have a significant sum when the budget is approved to get this community violence intervention off the ground, working with our partners here to bring these homicides and non-fatal shootings down, as well as just reports of gunshots down. That is our goal, and we are excited about working with the Family Guidance Center, with Street and Hospital Intervention, Live Free to provide training and assistance, and making sure that we're working with Central Alabama Crime Stoppers to assist us in community engagement. You know, we're seeking additional funding. For those of you who may have it in your couch at home or may have it underneath your car seat, for wraparound services to help these individuals break the cycle of violence. And so we're going to continue to work with the federal government and work with private philanthropic partners who are also involved in this space to seek funding for some of the programming that we don't have now. But again, while the $6 million would not be reached, we will have a significant amount in the millions going toward this initiative when the final budget is signed. Now, very quickly, criminal justice reform has been a very, very important part of what we've done. We signed an executive order to forgive fines and fees, trying to help those who are being weighed down by the cost of debt, those who have been involved in nonviolent offenses. To this date, up to $676,753 has been forgiven. When we look at 2,669 people have benefited from that fresh start. We're also modernizing our justice system with a review of outstanding warrants that has allowed us to resolve more than 13,000 warrants. We're also digitizing hard copy records to make them more accessible. And so far, more than 75,000 cases have been digitized, ensuring efficiency, transparency, and fairness while building community trust. Chief Greatvoice also has some ideas in this area that we believe we'll be implementing here in the next several weeks that we believe will help us in this space as well. Again, I mentioned public education being a great part of the success of this city, so we want to thank all those who've been a part of it. When we think about the renewal of our county tax in March, that helped secure resources for students and educators. It was a crucial win because it was something that we didn't want to take for granted, and it's something that we need, not just for funding, but we need, again, just to bolster our public schools as we continue to grow our population and we continue to try to grow this economy. You can't do that if you don't have an educated workforce, and we're proud of the work that and the improvements that Montgomery Public Schools has made, along with our independent schools and those who are homeschooling their children as well. We don't want people to think this is where education stops. We'll go to the next slide. Montgomery's Office of Workforce and Opportunity was awarded a $1.5 million grant from the U.S. Department of Labor. Again, we celebrated Labor Day yesterday, but this grant will fund educational services, skills training, leadership development, and job placement, and support services for 70 opportunity youth ages 18 to 24 years old who left school without a high school diploma. I'll ask all of our city council members, all of our community leaders here, please use your platform that you have to let people know about these opportunities that we have. One of the biggest gaps I hear in the community talking to people is they say, well, Mayor, you make an announcement, but we don't know how to get to the benefits. So we have to figure out a way of how to build that bridge through our civic organizations, through our churches, through other organizations to let people know how to get it. This is not one of those who want them to have to find a needle in the haystack. It's not a game of keep away. We want them to get these skills and get this access. So if you all can share this news, not only when you're talking to your neighborhood associations, but on your social media feeds, please let people know. We will make sure that we can fill in the gaps where necessary. If that's training, if that's adjusting some of the hours, if that's including weekends, give us that feedback, because the goal of these grants is to get into people's hands to help them have a better opportunity, because we can continue this economic trajectory that we have, and we've been getting some good wins as long as we continue to show that we have a workforce that can absorb it. And I believe we do, and I believe we just have to invest in them and make sure that they know where the opportunities are and how to make sure that they're a part of this. Finally, and I'll skip through these very quickly, we got infrastructure. We talked a lot about the Fairview Avenue revitalization, the Civil Rights Trail. We also have talked a lot about public services. We want to talk about the $16.9 million grant with the new electric buses, making the M more accessible and sustainable. The Hub, the new consolidated homeless service center, is seeing a significant step in addressing homelessness. And really almost done, data-driven decision-making. I won't go into all this that we're working on with the Bloomberg partnership, but it will help us create a more effective, efficient government and policies. And that's one of the things we were talking about kind of in between the work session and this session was how do we make sure that we have an efficient government, and how do we make sure that it is a transparent government that shows the trends, that shows government accountability, and lets our citizens know exactly what is happening. So trying to speed through all of that for somewhat of a late mid-year report shows that Montgomery is progressing rapidly in many of these spaces, and our focus on equity, collaboration, and data-driven decisions is really providing a bright future. So we're excited about the partnerships we have, excited about what so many of you are doing in our community, and many who are watching online continue to do. And I believe as we see what is just happening roughly the first half of the year, based on some of the announcements and some of the things that have taken place even in late July and August, that the second half of the year will continue to be one that ends and continues a positive trajectory and a positive path and ends on a positive note. So thank all of you for your involvement, for your activity, for your awareness and your engagement. And thank the council for the work that you all have been doing as well in assisting us in this endeavor and making sure that we work collaboratively as a city, as a county, and as a community, region, and state to make this the best place to live, work, and play. Thanks so much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions for the mayor? Thank you. Any special committees to report?
Yes, Mr. President. I wanted to report out to the council the business license requirements for event centers along with the definitions. I've passed it across the council. You all should have it. Stacy, do you and the mayor have a copy of the fee schedule and the ordinance, okay? So I want to leave this up for discussion for the ordinance with the event center. You all have it to overlook it. I would like the will of the council to go ahead and place a vote on that tonight. But I know that, Mr. President, we need to do a public hearing for the fee schedule.
All right. Got it. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance amending Section 6-4, business license requirements for event centers.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell.
I had some questions about it.
Go ahead.
I just think, I'm just looking at it, I'm just getting it. But we are putting a lot of limits on stuff that we don't put other limits on. Just like we have lounges on here, but you're saying that they can't be by church, public, private school, university, daycare, public parks, community centers. So my thing is that we are I have no problem if you said by a community, by a church, but you were saying they can almost be in the whole city of Montgomery, but how we got it worded about where they can go. You have eliminated every place that might have a empty spot or somewhere that somebody can make a living for their family. We have just exited out and tell them that we don't want them to do business in the city of Montgomery, and I have no problem with us putting some stipulations on it, but we have almost named every spot that you can go to have a business in the city of Montgomery.
Mr. President, Councillor Mitchell, I do understand that. So the way that came about is because we did an ordinance about 1.5 years ago that required all rental halls to have an ABC license. So along with the ABC license, these restrictions were already in place. So what we did, we actually just gave definitions to what a rental hall was in a conference center and added what was already in the ordinances for the ABC license to go in this. And we actually changed a bit and made it a little more easier to do, because we had a stipulation that was put in effect in October of last year that no two licenses for rental hall and event centers would be permitted within 4 miles of each other. We actually limited down now to 2 miles to open it up, because I mean a 4-mile stretch would be from downtown to almost the Taylor Road exit. So we actually dropped it down and made it a little easier to do in the city of Montgomery, to do business as a rental hall. But I would say I've looked at places, and we've discussed it across the committee, where we looked at locations like Greenville, South Carolina. We looked at Columbia, South Carolina, where they already are doing things to keep things in place and it's really the security measures is what we added, because there were none. And when we think about the places where we have the most issues, it's in the rental halls, because we know the rental halls have taken place of the clubs and lounges that have closed. So if that is the case, and they are grandfathered in, those that are already in existence. So those that are in existence, we just need to put some security measures in place, so when they operate, they're doing good business, and we won't have to worry so much, and people can feel safe when they're out and enjoying themselves.
Mr. President, I got a question.
Mr. Brown?
All right, and Mr. Mitchell, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but I don't see it from a neighborhood. How many feet from a neighborhood? I mean, from residential, it says community center, other things, but I don't want it on top of my neighborhoods either. I mean, we need to be 250 feet from there, and we need to be. Ideal world, we'd have entertainment districts all over the city.
We have 7
I know,
in the city.
and kind of keep it
It's in 2B, 250 feet.
to it for the neighborhood. Is that in there?
License for such business shall require a separate separation distance of 250 feet from any churches, private schools, universities, daycares, community centers, nearest property boundary line of the licensed premises to be. It's in B. It's in all of that with the churches. It's also got.
So the neighborhoods are in that 250.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
And
from
I
the
think
nearest
that,
property boundary of the.
and to think about that too, Councillor Grimes, with us doing the updated draft for the zoning ordinance, we have some small business districts that are like those stretch of commercial buildings that are in front of neighborhoods.
Right.
But that's something to discuss while we're doing the draft of the
Right.
zoning ordinance.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Mr. Semansky?
yeah, I think there's a couple of things that still stand out to me. I wasn't at the last committee meeting, I was out of town, but the 2 miles, the idea of the mileage itself seems still a bit ridiculous to me. I understand that there was this rush previously. We had the 4-mile idea. It could have just been a moratorium at that point. But we're trying to rebuild a downtown area, kind of inside of our metro area.
It's
The
exempt.
idea that 2 miles would be a restriction. If somebody wants to buy an old piece of property in downtown and turning it into an awesome venue for people to use. The other thing I would point out is that the rental halls are defined as venues of 1,500 square feet or less. I think we have a handful of pretty popular rental halls that are larger than that size. I think we're getting closer, and I understand the motivation for it, right? I've got some issues with some locations here in my district as well, but this seems to be still quite restrictive on something that we might see as a potentially beneficial business, especially, as I said, in some of our historic neighborhoods in our downtown area. I mean, 2 miles from downtown, takes you all the way, as you pointed out, Councillor, that we're going up the interstate. That's just, and if the idea is that we're trying to create regulation on the assumption that all rental halls are bad business, it seems more so like it's on our revenue and business licensing enforcement departments to handle issues of violation rather than to put something in that's so restrictive that it doesn't allow us to have those businesses pop up in the first place.
Mr. President, thank you for mentioning what you just stated, Councillor Semansky, but I would like you to go to number 2, and under number 2, look at subparagraph C, and under C, look at that that's right under there, and it says this restriction does not apply to rental halls located within any entertainment district. Councillor, if anybody is more concerned about downtown, it would be me, because I represent the area. And we have all of our entertainment districts in downtown, and so I was ensured, and I made sure that we did put that in there so that that would not impede on any business downtown or in the Cloverdale area or in any other entertainment district that we have in the city of Montgomery.
No, I did notice that. It's just that the entertainment district doesn't cover the entire footprint of what I would consider new growth opportunities for downtown. It sits in a downtown corridor where we already have a lot of development. I know that there's probably some buildings, but I'm just saying it is just one thing that I'm noting is that you could grow outside of that downtown footprint into areas that aren't part of the entertainment district, because the entertainment district does not cover the entirety of downtown.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir, but let me point out to Mr. Grimes, I misspoke. It is not 250 feet from a residential area. That is left out.
Okay.
I misspoke on that one, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Well, we'll bring Adam in, and Mr. President, I would like to, since the majority of the council members that weren't in the committee and are just getting eyes on it, you can have some moments to look at it, overview it, red ink it, and we'll come back to it in 2 weeks, Mr. President.
Yeah, so we just want to place it on the agenda to bring it up in 2 weeks on our next council.
So we're going to carry it over.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you guys for that discussion.
Okay. The ordinance amending 16-106 of the Code of Ordinances, the business license fees.
Ms. Johnson?
Mr. President, I would like us to get this done prior to the budget's passed. If we can do a public hearing in the next council meeting.
Okay. You guys want to do a public hearing within 7 days? We need 7 days to announce this, right?
Yes, sir. I'll have enough time to get a notice to the paper.
Okay.
Yes, sir. For the next
Before
council
we
meeting.
pass it, yeah, before the next council meeting.
With the next council meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that all right?
We good with this?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Item number 1, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning 3620 Old Selma Road from an M3 district to an R99S district.
Okay. Representative for item number 1, please come forward. Yes, sir. Your name for the record.
Norman Irvin.
Norman Urban.
Yes, sir. This is
Okay.
my wife, Grace.
All right. Ms. Riley.
Mr. President, we have some people also here that live in that area also that want to just have a sit-down conversation about what they want to do with this property. And I have no problem with bringing them together and let them sit down. So I would like to carry this over so that we can sit down and discuss the issues that they're having concerning that property as well.
Okay. Mr. Norman,
Yes, sir.
tell us what you're trying to do with this property.
Beg your pardon again.
Tell me what you're trying to do with this item. Number 1, what are you trying to do with your property?
I want to bring me a manufactured home in.
Speaking to the microphone, sir.
I want to bring me a manufactured home in for me and my wife to live in.
So you're trying to put one manufactured home on the
Yes, sir.
1.7 acres?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you gonna set the meeting?
Yes, I'm gonna set the meeting and I have both of them number already, so I'm gonna set the meeting and pull all the community together so that they can have a discussion.
Mr. President, this is a public hearing, so you're going to have to ask for
Okay.
opposition.
This is a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. No one opposing?
Y'all opposing the item, y'all here, y'all told me y'all was gonna,
We can vote it up tonight.
I mean,
Mr. Norman, let them take that mic and just talk to us about what the plans are right
To the councilor,
there. Your name for the record, sir?
Louis Reese.
Okay, Mr. Reese? You gonna lead the discussion?
Yes, Mr. Reese, go ahead and tell me what's your concerns about it, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna do.
Our concern is, you know, you say one trailer, and maybe if you put one trailer, there's some other trailer might be on the property also. But I know the councilman cannot assure us that there will only be one trailer there for him to live in. We're thinking about the future, that if he decided to sell it or let somebody else put a trailer there, that's what our concern is there.
Okay, that's the reason why, Mr. President, I want to just bring everybody together so we can sit down and discuss it. So if I can carry it over, I'll get the meeting scheduled.
You councilperson for that district, so I
Thank
take
you.
the public council. She's gonna carry this over for 2 weeks, sir.
Thank you very much.
Close your hearing, Mr. President.
Okay, the public hearing has been held. It's now proper for the council. It'll be carried over for 2 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Blaylock.
Item 2, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property at 2810 Atlanta Highway from an O1 district to a B2Q district.
Okay. This is a public hearing. The owners for item number 2, representing property, item number 2, please come forward. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Mr. Grimes,
Motion to approve.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. The ordinance is adopted. Item 3, hearing on master plan approval and to rezone property containing 113.525 acres located on the north side of Atlanta Highway west of Seminole Drive from an R100 and Ag 2 district to a PUD district.
Okay. Grace Pugh.
That's not Grace.
No, she's in the back. She signed up for that. But this is a public hearing. You represent the property, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your name for the record?
Council members, Mayor, my name is Max Vaughn, Good Mills and Kaywood, and representing the McLemore Land Trust and Ladder New Homes. And we're happy to be here today to present the next residential development from Ladder New Homes. A little bit about what has gotten us here to this point today. Louder has been, that's the same as working with Good Mills and Kaywood for several decades, has worked with BSB, design, planning, and architecture design firm to develop numerous iterations of this plan that you see, several meetings with surrounding neighborhood associations, and working with the planning department and the neighborhood alliance group as well, has led to this plan. And I would like for Ms. Grace Pugh to come up and speak for the Airhead HOA and the surrounding neighborhood.
Okay. Ms. Pugh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Louder Construction reached out to me concerning their interest in this property.
Pull your mic down for me, please.
I'm sorry. How's that?
That's better.
Okay. Louder Construction reached out to me in an effort to start conversation about this property. I live at 23 Creek Drive in Arrowhead, and they wanted to go ahead and start conversations about their interest in this property and how they intended to utilize the property. We met several times. We called in the East Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance Group, who also met with Louder. We met at their office to discuss their initial plan. After review of the initial plan, the neighborhoods felt like there were some things that they would like to see the developer change. We made a list of those items, which included some space between the property lines in our existing neighborhood. We asked for a one-way in and one-way out entrance so that we could cut down on hopefully people committing crimes and things within this new neighborhood and then trying to exit out Arrowhead, Town Lake, Midland Forest, etc. Every time we met, they had made an effort to redo the plan and redesign it based upon our comments, and we finalized a plan that we felt like everyone would be happy with. So in doing so, we fully support the rezoning. We feel like the neighborhood that's designed is going to be attractive. We feel like the homes that they intend to build are going to be comparable to the other homes in our surrounding neighborhoods and actually help our cost or price per square foot with our future appraisals. They've done everything that we've asked them to do concerning the townhomes. They intend for those to be brick and with garages and ample parking. So we're quite pleased with what they've ended up with and are happy to support the rezoning with them.
Thank you, Ms. P.
You're very welcome.
All right. All right, declare the public hearing has been held and is proper before the council. Mr. Grimes.
I got one question. Jimmy, y'all gonna pull me some fiber, right, so we can have some city fiber for cameras in that neighborhood, right? Got it. I'm good.
You want to get that on the record?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Grimes, need a motion?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted.
Good luck with your business. Thank you.
Item 4, 30-day review of the Key West Inn, 1040 West South Boulevard.
All right, representative for Key West Inn, please come forward.
Mr. President.
Your name for the record, sir?
Yes, we have tried to clean it up and we...
Sir, speak up for me. Speak into the mic. Your name for the record?
Daxis Patel.
Okay.
It's deep.
I got you. Go ahead.
Yes, we have cleaned it up and we are still trying to clean it up, and now we have talked to the systems, and with the system we're gonna keep it like that.
Okay. Ms. Riley?
Yes, Mr. President, I have been working with him. He has cleaned it up. We are having problems with people still coming, and due to the rundown hotel next door that needs to be torn down, that we are working on getting that taken care of as well with the blight money that we have that's coming. Also that he is working with us on security that will start next week to monitor the building for it.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
All right. All right, sir, your review has been held. Thank you. Good luck with your business. Keep doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 5, review of soul food kitchens. This item is now in compliance and is withdrawn.
Okay.
Item 6, application for towing company doing business as D&D Towing and Recovery, 562 Oliver Road.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Sophia Ellis.
Sophia Ellis. All right. Ms. Beard.
Hey, Sophia. I've just done some research since you and I have talked in the past few minutes. The address is not going to be anymore at Oliver Road, correct?
Right.
Okay, so we'll need to have a change of address there. Ms. Blaylock?
I can't hear you.
I don't know.
A change of address?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the address?
Sophia? 23 West Patton Avenue.
23 West Patton
I got a
Avenue.
question. I got a question. What about on West Patton? Because that's in District 4 now. I need to know where you're trying to go over there, because I got a problem.
It's a residential area.
It's a residential area?
Yeah.
So you're moving a tow business to a residential area?
It's not a tow business, it's a tow truck.
Okay, we're not going to do a tow truck in our residential area in District 4 either. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that now.
It's not private property. We can't park your truck.
We're not going to do a tow truck in our residential area. I'm just letting you know now.
So no one that owns a tow truck don't have their truck at their house?
I'm not going to do a tow truck in the residential area over in District 4.
So what you suggest? I'm lost. Well, she was parking there. You can't park it at home?
You're not going to do a tow truck in my residential area. It's not allowed.
I'm saying, what did you suggest?
You're going to have to find a building to put
so
this
you need a business to own a tow truck?
You're not going to put your tow truck in the residential area.
Do you need a business to own a tow truck?
Ms. Pruitt.
Ms. Blaylock, do we have an ordinance on
Yes, we do.
tow trucks and stuff in residential area? I think we do.
I've got it right here.
You got it?
Yes, I do. And I've already spoke to Mr. Warren about it, and because I didn't know where your home address would be, because it was just brought up to me, and I really believe that Mr. Rose needs to be here. Yeah, he's at work. So. I know, but he needs to come to this city council meeting and handle this business. This is not your business. Right. It is his business. Right. And so I really I really
think we do.
trust in that he needs to be here.
I mean, he's off in the daytime, so we can handle the business
What's the
then,
look
but
for?
y'all just tell me what to
does
do.
the
I don't
ordinance
know.
say, June?
The ordinance says that, according to the ordinance that I just sent, it says that particular type of vehicle can be parked in the residential driveway in a residential section. And then I asked Chief Hall, and he said that, yes, he cannot park anything on the street.
So it can be in the driveway?
According to this ordinance, it's in the driveway. He cannot bring, okay, one person at a time, because you can't hear me speak.
You got the mic, Ms. Beard, go ahead.
You can't have a trailer. He cannot bring that car there. So that's why I was doing my research when you approached me today with all this. That's why I went back and did my research.
Okay.
And so now it's carried to where you're going to post, to where you're going to park that vehicle. And I have a concern too. I don't want tow trucks parked in my neighborhood either, but according to what this says, it does not specifically, Mr. Warren, as we've looked and as Chief Hall and I have discussed back and forth here about the tow truck.
So it can be parked in the driveway?
Yes, ma'am, according to the ordinance.
In the driveway.
According to section 27-385, yes, ma'am.
In the
So-
driveway.
Okay,
In
No
the
trailer.
driveway.
so I can get the license, it's just a tow truck, it's not no trailer, just a truck?
Just,
Well-
right, he can't bring any cars into the,
Right.
into the neighborhood.
It's a
Yes.
drop and go truck, it's not just
A
drop and go.
Okay. So, do we approve it in my,
No, you should.
It, it,
You gotta update a
we've
license.
got to update everything now, Sophia.
Now-
You gotta update everything.
So,
Mr.
and at that time, display light should, Mr. I know, it's a lot.
No,
Actually, you can just amend the resolution.
you amend the resolution for the address. and
Okay.
then you can
Making a
vote.
motion to adopt the resolution and a motion to amend to change the address. And then how Councilor Riley wants to handle that will be up to her.
Okay, Ms. Riley, you can take it.
You got to amend it, it's yours.
Okay.
No, it's actually yours.
Well, she ain't
May I
changed
ask
it
a
yet.
question?
Yes, Mr. Jim Wright.
What's wrong with Oliver Road?
Sir?
What's wrong with Oliver Road?
Oliver Road, Ms.
But that's a
Sophia
business
here
over
owns
there.
the business. She is renting a building on Oliver Road.
Okay.
So her landlord does not want them to use the same business at one address. He does not want the truck parked there. They were operating a business,
Okay.
one business, she rents the business. His name would not be on the license, the landlordship of that building.
It just looks like a perfect location.
What kind of business you have over there on Oliver Road, you don't
I
mind
mean,
me asking?
event planner.
You an
Event
event planner?
All right. Ms. Beard, we'll
Yes.
deal with the council. We need to keep moving. What you guys gonna do? We need to, you got the amendment on the address?
Yes,
We
I
don't
would
have
like
a
to make,
motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt,
And, okay,
and then
Motion to amend the address
And then a motion to amend the address.
to 23 West Patton Avenue.
okay. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Mr. President,
Mr. Pruitt?
why is, just curious, why is Fernanda not making the motion? It's in
That's
her
what I
district.
said.
I mean, it really don't matter who makes the motion if we vote.
I'm not voting for it anyway, so.
You don't want, I'm
Okay.
just, man.
You have the motion to amend the address is
Okay.
before them.
Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Seven,
Okay. Opposers have the same right.
2.
Okay,
Okay, now that
Yeah.
motion to amend carries, we need to adopt it
okay, need a motion to adopt, Ms.
as amended.
as amended. Ms. Beard?
Make
That
a-
motion's on the floor. You just need to vote.
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand.
7,
Opposers have the same.
2,
Mr. President, I want to make one comment before we get this go. Ma'am, you do realize it's got to be in the driveway, not in the front yard.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck with your business, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7, hearing on proposed ordinance amending fiscal year 2024 operating and debt service budget and adopting fiscal year 2025 operating and debt service budget.
Okay, we're gonna carry this over. We'll
This
have,
is the public hearing. Mr.
yeah, this is the
President.
public hearing that we will be held on Thursday.
No, sir. We have to have a public hearing tonight.
Okay, well, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak on item number 7, the 2025 operating budget? Please come forward. Item 7 or 8. Okay. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing is withheld.
And item 8 is carried over to the next meeting following your work session.
Okay, thank you.
Item 9, ordinance amending City of Montgomery organizational chart to add housing departments.
All right. All right, item number 9, need a motion to suspend the rules.
No, sir, it's old business.
It's old business. Okay.
Motion to adopt.
All right, all in favor, please raise your hand.
8,
Okay, opposers have the same right?
Mr. Grimes,
You vote no?
are you no or abstain?
Okay.
The motion to adopt carries.
All right, good luck, Mr.
Robinson.
Robinson.
Item number 10 is withdrawn because it was placed in Public Works Standing Committee. Item 11, ordinance authorizing mayor to execute aggregate contracts of $25,000 or less without council review and approval through September 2025.
Okay, Madam Clerk, I'd like to table this item for 30 days. We have some questions on the operation, so with the will of the council, we want to talk about this 30 day, have some meeting on how this will be implemented if it's passed by the council. So these are some of the things I want to just table this item for 30 days.
Carry it over.
Carry it over for 30 days.
Point of order, Mr. President.
Mr.
The part of the resolution was to authorize signing in general. I don't think we had done this previous to for this year. And so just making sure that we're aware of that. And I think the thing that's important is we're getting some clarifications on this because there may be some, I was just informed that we may have some issues with this, but a good, 30 days we're going to be voting on this, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So it will come back up at the last meeting in October.
Thank
The
you.
first meeting in October.
Okay.
Item 12, ordinance requiring photo identification card in order to carry a concealed firearm on one's person or in a vehicle in the city.
All right, Mr. Pruitt.
Mr.
Need a motion to
President.
suspend the rules?
Yes, sir.
It's old business.
It's old business.
Oh,
We
okay.
carried it over.
All right, need a motion?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
8,
Opposers have the same. Abstention.
Ms. Johnson, she abstains. The ordinance carries.
You just voted. You just voted. All right.
Item 13, review.
Mr. President, just so
Mr.
everybody's real clear, what this ordinance says is that you must have a valid identification card to carry a firearm.
That's what we just passed, so now we're just waiting on the signature.
Yeah. I just wanted the mayor to hear it too.
Item 13, review of Sherwood Apartments, 4921 Hatton Avenue.
Okay. Owners of Sherwood Apartment, please come forward. All right. Name for the records?
Deshaun Beasley.
Sean Beasley.
Deshaun what?
Beasley.
Beasley. Thank you.
All right. Miss
You're the
Riley.
owner of those apartment complex?
I'm the property manager.
No, you're not. You're the property manager. Okay. We have concerns about the well-being out there of the citizens that live out there in that neighborhood, as well as security and the living conditions. I've had multiple people have went through this summer that I've been constantly in contact with, talking with, in no air conditioning units. And then the apartment complex that they live in is not really suitable. And then the security out there, people just walking around just everywhere doing what they want to do. And can you elaborate on what's going on?
Yes, ma'am. I actually just started as a property manager there towards the end of April of this year. Since I've been there, we've serviced over 30 ACs, have them up and running. I've made very diligent efforts in making sure that we maintain cleanliness on the property. It's myself, I have one maintenance person, and I have 4 contractors who, walk the property every day and pick up trash. We have been trying to do what we can to hold the residents accountable for their behavior as well. And that comes in the form of 30-day notices, infraction notices, things of that nature. I've been in contact with Brian Seymour, at least.
Brian who?
Seymour, one of the city inspectors, that will come to me with complaints, or if it's a nuisance order. I work with him on a regular basis to make sure that we're staying in compliance with all of the city ordinances and the entities that govern that property. I've also been working closely with Navigate Housing as well, who provide the subsidies, in which we only get subsidies once a month. And with that being said, towards the end of the month, we're pretty much running out of money by doing all of the revitalization that we're doing at the property. We've mediated a lot of the mold issues, broken windows, doors being kicked in. However, on the flip side of that, when it comes to security and safety, I've reached out to Montgomery Police Departments, the sheriff. I've spoken with him a couple of times. I'm just basically trying to see what we could do to collaborate in ensuring that we have more security measures there. Just this past week, we had several car break-ins. The week before that, there was a shooting inside of a unit, and the bullet actually, one of the stray bullets went into that same household as the woman who was killed on the property last year. So we have issues like that where I would call the police myself, and I'm waiting several hours at the property for someone to show up. If I see people on the property openly carrying guns and AK-47s and AR-15s, I mean guns of that nature. So I've done the best that I could in terms of, trying to hold the residents accountable.
Speak up for me, I can't hear you.
Holding the residents accountable as well as holding the owners accountable on their part as well. And I've only been there a few months, but we've made great progress in trying to maintain the safety and cleanliness of the area.
Okay, we're gonna talk before we leave today, because I want to get with you with the police department, because that's a concern of mine, what you just said. If you're watching and walk around with AKs and you're calling and nobody is coming, that's a big concern, because that is one of the problems. We got to make sure that our citizens feel safe. And I'm going to give you my number. I mean, I've already talked to you all several times, but I'm going to just give you my number, my personal number, so I can come out there again and visit and go back through some apartments and stuff, because I just want to make sure our citizens are living correctly. We're doing all we can to take care of them, to make sure that they're living in a community that's protecting them just as well. Absolutely. So, Ms. Blaylock, can we do another review?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do a 30-day review, and I'm going to get with this young man on some things and some issues that we can look at, and one of them will be with security-wise, with them calling the police and everything, and working on some things that we need to do. And then I need to get the owner's name of the business as well, and a good contact number of him too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell.
Councillor, can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Who is your managing company? Are they local? Where are they?
They're based out of New York. It's EEG Management.
EEG Management.
Yeah, they're
so
also
what other
with
properties?
Woodley Gardens, Woodley Terrace.
What other properties they own in the city of Montgomery? You know?
Woodley Gardens, Woodley Terrace. I think they changed the name to one of them.
Brentwood.
Brentwood. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Mr. Pruitt.
Stacy, I'd just like to remind you that the ordinance we just passed now will allow us to ask these individuals for photo identification. Just remind you. Thank you very much.
I'll get with you in a minute.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, they probably ain't got it.
Item number 14, review of Crown Legacy Studio and Art at 3834 Harrison Road.
All right. I think you signed up to speak on item 14.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I can't read it. So
Brittany.
Brittany?
Gilchrist,
Okay. Okay.
Brittany what?
Gilchrist.
Thank you.
You put that doctor's signature on my page. Okay, Brittany.
Well, I was the one that called for the
Go ahead,
review.
Mr.
Brittany, we've just been getting a lot of calls about the property out there, the type of activities are happening. So can you just explain to me a little bit about the business itself and what kind of business you're conducting out there?
Yes, sir. I have an art studio, art and dance studio. I do aerobics, I do art, I do sipping paints, etc. But no event center.
And your hours of operation?
From like 7, mostly on the weekends, from like 7 till midnight at
Midnight?
the latest. 11:30, 12 at the latest.
And what's your capacity in that business?
They just changed it, so it's 150.
150.
I just talked to KVAC, I think that's his name, the building inspector.
Say it again?
I think his name, KVAC, the building inspector.
Okay. And the license that you have stipulates, so the reason we're getting a lot of calls is because I'm getting told that we're hosting parties over there in the nighttime. That we're having private events, family events, friends events. The license is very specific in saying that business is not licensed to be an event hall. So
It's
when
not
I
an
get,
event hall.
well, I know it's not an event hall, but the activities that if you're having parties and having people in there, having food, alcohol, those types of things, then we've got a problem because that doesn't line up with what type of license you got, right?
Okay.
That property, we'd had I forget what the name of the property owner was previously, but they had come in for a conference center license. Obviously, because we have an event hall moratorium, 4 mile radius, whatever. The revenue department and I have been speaking as well, and they're also aware. I've got a church next door that has cars that are parking into it. They're finding broken glass from bottles that have been out there. I was told this past weekend that there was an event that even had security at it.
I wasn't here, I was in Georgia.
But your business was open?
My business was not open.
So are you and the business next door to you, are you guys partners of any way?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
So y'all are operating two different businesses?
Two different businesses.
Okay. And so you're sometimes having party type events though,
I
correct?
have sipping paints. Yes, I do.
What?
Sipping paint.
What?
And paint. In studios.
Okay. So, I don't know if somebody from Revenue wants to speak on this as well, but the complaints, the issues that I've got is that we're packing the place out, and I'm being told we're not doing sip and paint at 11 o'clock on Saturday nights, that we're having music, booze, and food. And two of those things, the food and booze specifically, and also just events in general, are not permitted with the type of license that you have.
Can I speak?
Sure.
Okay. So about the food part, I had a fundraiser about 2 months ago. Outside gave book bags. I already know where the complaint's coming from. The owner of the building know where the complaint's coming from. I got pictures of the person coming, harassing me, taking pictures of me. It's an ongoing issue. They don't want us in the building. They called the owner of my building several times. I got pictures, I got tag numbers of the ladies in here right now. It's a lot. When I say I got a list of everything and I have proof of everything that I'm telling you, like, I don't be in my building like that. So when I am there, I'm there at my building. I'm hosting something myself.
Right, but the reason that people are concerned in the neighborhood is observing your area is because their residents are getting calls late at night that you're hosting parties in that business, and they are letting me know that that's happening because they go by and they send me photos of that, and then I get even more calls. So the issue is that you're not licensed for those kinds of activities in that space, and I don't know what Revenue does to kind of help me combat this, but the issue is that you're issued a license. It says on there very specifically, these are things that are not permitted in your space. So we can revoke your business license, or over the next 30 days, if you want to, we can stop those kinds of activities. If you've got a sip and paint, I think that's great. Do sip and paint, but I can't keep getting calls telling me that there's parties being hosted out there on Saturday nights. I got Revenue here. I mean, again, y'all know this, right? It was listed inside the license.
Yeah.
What activities are not permitted. We've talked
Correct.
about this.
Correct.
So we're going to observe the business over the next 30 days. We're going to make sure that all we're doing is what you're licensed to do, or meet with them about changing your license. I mean, you know, we had this, I told the last young lady as well, same issue, okay? It's you got to be licensed for the correct thing to do that kind of activity in that space. We're going to work with Revenue, okay? If you need to talk to them to get any kind of clarification about what you can and can't do in there, but in 30 days, if that has not stopped, if I'm still getting calls and I'm still having issues, if the church next door is still having people parking in it and staying and hanging out in it late night, which they are.
So you're gonna blame just my building saying it's two buildings that's operating.
I
and
told
they
the other
just
business
pinpoint-
owner as well. I'm telling both of y'all, and I've got people that have sent me pictures of people walking into your space.
I
I do.
doubt it. Okay.
So I'm letting you know, we're not
Yeah.
doing anything today, but in 30 days, we're gonna re-review this, okay? If we feel like we're in a good spot, business is going as normal, the way that it's supposed to be going, that's fine. If not, then we're gonna have a bigger issue, okay? And if you have any questions for them, they'd be happy to clarify what you can and can't do with that license.
Mr.
Mr. President, Mr. Mitchell.
Mr. Spancy, I have a question.
Hold on,
Are
Ms.
you,
Beard.
are
Ms.
you?
Beard, Ms. Beard.
Sir?
Mr. Mitchell has the floor, then I'll come back to you. Go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that we are clear, because I have seen, I hadn't been, because, but the sip and paint, so can you describe, so you play music?
You play music, you dance, you sip and paint. With the dance studio, you come in and you dance, you meet together. If it's a sip and paint, the one in East Chase, they dance, they have live music.
So I guess my question is that out of the scope of her, if it's dealing with paint and dancing, is that out of it, so she can't have, I don't see anything about not having music on here, so she can't have a sip and paint where they're up dancing music and they painting and doing.
Well, I don't know about sipping. I don't know what you talking about sipping.
No, but that's just what they call it. I mean.
Yeah. She could do that because she's an art and a dance studio.
And there's no limitation on the time of her. What time do it say you have to close?
I don't say I have to close. I don't have a time.
No, and I'm not. But again, it says very specifically, it's the no alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And that's what leads people to
Correct. But you can
concern.
have BYOBs, correct? You can
Say
bring your
again?
own. You can bring your own alcohol, correct?
It says no alcohol permitted on premises in the license.
All right, Ms. Beard.
Are you renting your
Go ahead, man.
building out to anyone else?
I'm not.
Okay. So you're not renting your building out to anybody else. So when you have your parties, what is usually your guest list? How many?
You said, what is my
How
guest
many?
list?
How many do you usually have?
40, 50, 60.
Okay.
I got a big family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, any more questions for Mrs. Gilchrist?
No more questions. I think
All right,
the
they have
point
a
again,
review in
though-
30 days, Ms. Gilchrist.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. President, I just want to point out that again, this is the problem when we have complications and confusion around the event halls and how we permit and give licenses to these types of businesses, is then we try and circumnavigate. And I've been to sip and paints before. I think they're a lot of fun. The problem is that this business license does not accommodate for alcohol on the premise.
Okay.
Item 15, ordinance adopting the International Residential Code 2024.
All right, need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 16, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Paco's Tacos Mexican Grill, 8844 Minnie Brown Road.
Representative Paco's Tacos, please come forward. Your name for the record, sir.
Samuel Flores.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Mr. Jenwright.
Move to approve. Move to suspend the rules.
It's time to go, right? Got a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to
Move to
adopt.
adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Item 17, application for lounge retail liquor Class 1 license doing business as Commerce Music Hall, 166 Commerce Street.
All right. Representative for Commerce Music Hall, please come forward. All right. Your name for the record, sir.
John Searcy for Commerce Music Hall.
John Searcy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got it. All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
A motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right. Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Item 18, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Shell, 830 West Fairview Avenue.
Okay. Representative from Shell, please come forward.
Satish Kandari.
Your name for the record again?
Satish Kandari.
You got that? You can get it off the recording.
Off the application, yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. This is the public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Ms. Riley.
Yes, Mr. President, we have already talked about it. Their store hours are going to be from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. They are going to have security up there. They're going to make sure they keep this store in good shape because it's a brand new store. And he's going to make sure he has security, and he's going to look at Star Watch.
It's a gas station?
Gas station.
You closing the gas station?
That's what they doing. They're going to start off slow. They want to increase to just see how the business flow up there first.
Okay. Yeah, right there. Okay.
That was their decision.
All right. We had the public hearing. Okay. We need a motion. Suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Thank you.
Thank you for investing in Montgomery, sir. Good luck with your business.
Item 19, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Rev Store, 7821 Bond Road.
Representative for Rev Store, please come forward. Your name for the record, sir.
Gene Cody.
You got it, Ms. Blaylock?
Yes, sir, I know his daddy.
Okay. All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Item 20, resolution appointing Ella Martin to the Montgomery Historic Preservation Commission.
All right. Ms. Beard, need a motion to suspend the rules?
I need a motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
No.
You're
I'm just.
It's getting late.
unanimous.
All right. Need a motion to adopt.
I need a motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Item 21, resolution designating nuisance abatement agent.
Need a motion to suspend the rules for the remainder of the agenda. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Mr. Pruitt.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 22, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Need a motion? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Mr. President, I have one set of contingency funds. Mr. Mayor, these are all vendors for District 2, 1,000 to North Pass Neighborhood Association, 1,000 to Montgomery East Neighborhood Association, 1,000 to Eastbrook Montgomery Morning View Association. That's all.
All right, need a motion for approval?
Move.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. That's all I have.
Okay, any council member have anything?
Excuse me, Mr. President. Real quick, we will have to get rid of, empty our contingency by next meeting, correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. You can transfer to District 5 if you need some help.
That's what I was thinking about doing.
Appreciate you.
Well, if you get
All right, anyone else?
Mr. President,
Go ahead. I was just seeing if Mr. Mitchell had anything he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I know there's an apartment complex somewhere he's talking about.
Just one more thing. Go ahead, Mr. Minister.
Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, and to the chief, it's a car wash that's on Whitley Road that we have had several issues with. I think we had a homicide back probably a month ago, maybe a little drug activity. I've been trying to get in contact with the owner, see can we somehow force them to either put it in operation or to block it off or gate it off, because a lot of activity happens up there on Whitley Road. Chief, I think is 2906 Whitley Road. I'm not just sure of the address, but it is next to the road runner on Whitley Road. So if we can please, whatever we need to do, help me facilitate them doing something with that piece of property, it'd be greatly appreciated for the District 6.
It's abandoned? It's closed?
No, it's not abandoned. Somebody's there every day in the stalls, sitting there or drinking, smoking, or hanging out.
I got
That's where the guy was murdered at.
Yeah, that's the guy that murdered it, yeah.
Okay.
That's on Ames Street, too.
Mr. Mayor, on our inspections, I got a call today from some of our sanitation workers, and what's happening, I think it was on Taylor Road and Bond Road, they're cutting these medians, not city workers, but these contracts that's coming out, cutting these medians and blowing all this grass and stuff out into the streets, and it's causing people to, the grass getting into our drainage system, and it almost caused a lot of accidents today, according to the sanitation people, because people would have to duck, because the stuff will shoot from up on the lawnmowers. So we need to I know that's against the law to do that thing, so we need to just look into that. All right, anything else? Meeting adjourned.